Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thank you for listening to Your Working Life, my podcast series featuring thought leaders in the career and personal growth arena. You spend a significant portion of your life at work, so my goal is to provide you with tools, inspiration, and resources so you can enjoy your career and love your life. And I am delighted to welcome my very special guest to the show today, Kim Peters. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Carolyn. I'm so glad to be here this morning.
Well, I am very excited to dive into a juicy conversation, but I want to tell our listening audience a bit more about you. Kim Peters is an executive vice president at Great Place to Work and leads the certification program, which offers companies the opportunity to get Great Place to Work certified to measure and build a high-trust workplace culture and be eligible for all of our best workplaces lists, including the Fortune 100 Best Companies to Work For list. And prior to joining Great Place to Work, Kim built a number of successful businesses in the recruitment sector, including Workopolis.com, Canada's leading job board, where she was founder and president. So Kim, let's dive in. How does Great Place to Work define a great workplace? Because I imagine that's somewhat subjective.
Exactly. And we've really been assessing organizations for 30 years now.
Wow.
And every year we survey almost 100,000 employees at more than 6,000 organizations in 45 countries around the world. And
That's
we
incredible.
find it's the same everywhere.
Oh, okay. So
A great place to work. Yeah, a great place to work is one where you trust the people you work for. You take pride in what you do, and you enjoy the people that you work with.
Wow. Wow.
So it's really all about a high level of trust, and that's what we
universal.
measure.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. How do you measure that? Because I know that organizations have the opportunity to become Great Place Work certified. So one, help us understand the mechanism by which you are awarded that distinction, and then how might an organization listening become certified?
Sure. In order to be Great Place to Work certified, a company provides some information about their business and their programs and practices. But the big part is that they have to survey their employees using this same Trust Index survey that I was talking about. And so employees rate a number of statements about how they experience their workplace, rating them on a scale of 1 to 5, between almost always untrue and almost always true. And so we say things like management makes expectations clear, or people here are paid fairly for the work they do, or my work has special meaning, it's not just a job. And then each question is scored for each employee, and the results are averaged together for a total score. And if 7 out of 10 employees, 70%, say they're experiencing a great workplace, we award the Great Place to Work certification. And we provide a badge and a Great Place to Work review that shares some of the results and the information provided so that job seekers or people in general can understand what the workplace experience is like. And it's told to us by the employees themselves.
And that means a lot, right? So this is authentic internal information from people that are actually working.
Exactly. It's a statistically valid random sample that 95 times out of 100 would deliver the same results, and so it's really something that you can count on. It's what the employees really do think about their workplace experience, and of course the information about benefits and programs comes to us directly from the companies themselves. So it is accurate.
That's great. Well, as a career coach, I think it's an incredible tool, and I am not surprised at all to hear the themes of trust, pride, and enjoyment rising to the top, because job seekers need to be savvy. They need to know what they're getting into ahead of time. But how might the job candidate listening today find Great Place to Work information? How can they access that?
Sure. If they go to our reviews.greatplacetowork.com website, they will find all of the reviews that we've gathered and that the companies have published about the Great Place to Work certified companies. And they can read for themselves about each of the organizations and check out the scores, because we score the companies on 5 different categories. Well, 6 actually. Great challenges, great atmosphere, great rewards, great pride, great communication, and great bosses. And so, there are all these because, of course, no company is wonderful at everything. And these categories really help you understand the different aspects of the organization.
Well, I'm particularly happy to hear that you're also evaluating great bosses, because as we've all heard, the age-old adage, people don't leave organizations, they leave bosses. So that relationship is very impactful. So, Kim, I'd love to tap your expertise a bit more. Again, for the job seeker, for the candidate listening today, and it's a global podcast, so we've got people all over the world. How can they really understand that data to the best of their advantage and determine what company they're likely to succeed at and enjoy the most?
Sure, and you're absolutely right. Not everyone likes the same thing,
right.
and that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
But at our site, reviews.greatplacetowork.com, you can fill out a quiz. Under our top navigation, we have a category called Useful Stuff, and under it, there is a quiz that any job seeker or any candidate can certainly take advantage of. It will show you 2 statements for each question, and you really pick the one that you like best. And it guides you through to the end. At the end, you'll find out which of the categories that I talked about, challenges, atmosphere, rewards, pride, communication, and bosses, is most important to you.
Yeah.
And then it will bring you up a list of companies with particularly strong results in that category.
That's extraordinary. So this is highly customized.
Yes, it is. It really will help you understand. For example, I myself seem to be motivated most by great challenges.
Yeah.
And so it will bring up a list of companies that really are scoring highly in that area. And then you can also browse by state or industry and then filter, and all kinds of different ways you can browse, but those are 2 examples. And then you can filter by organizations that have the best categories, or even things like the best healthcare coverage for dependents or paid time off. Or maybe you're a woman and you're looking for a place where women are in high proportion in the executive category. So you can look for high percentages of women executives, or tuition reimbursement, for example. It's really all there for people's use.
I am so excited to hear about this and so thrilled to be broadcasting this globally. This is an essential tool, Kim. Great to hear. So before I segue into what it means to an organization to be Great Place Work certified, you opened up an area that I want to just tap a little deeper. You talked about perhaps identifying women leaders within an organization. From my seat as a career coach, I see a lot of women in what we call relaunch opportunities, where they're getting back into the workplace after an extended leave, perhaps to take care of children or tend to elderly parents, whatever the reason is. Any indication on the surveying mechanism to organizations that are workforce re-entry friendly to women?
Well, we do have a best workplaces for women category, and it's a list because we do produce a number of different lists throughout the year, and women and in fact best workplaces for parents are 2 that might be relevant here. I would certainly encourage the listeners to check out those rankings and read those companies' reviews because that certainly will be part of what they do.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So let's dive into what being Great Place to Work certified means to an organization. Quite a coup, I imagine.
Well, in fact, it's very meaningful, and there are lots of things that do benefit the organization. First of all, of course, just brand awareness, and
Yeah.
for marketing purposes, companies display their badges proudly
Yes.
online on their websites, in their recruitment materials, especially
Hmm.
decals in their windows and doors. We highlight them at our conferences and events and in white papers, and it really is a great opportunity to build a brand.
Fantastic. And not easy to earn, I imagine, right? So this is a
Right. You
select
have to
group.
have the 7 out of 10
Right.
employees saying that it is a great workplace. And of course, they're automatically eligible for all of our best workplaces lists for a year. So
Hmm.
we look at our pool of certified companies every time we create a list. And these include things like best workplaces for millennials, for women, for diversity, the Fortune 100 Best Companies to Work For list, a Best Small and Medium list, industry lists. This year we're doing regional lists like Best Workplaces in the Bay Area, Chicago, Texas, New York, Southern California, and even some special interest lists like the Best Workplaces for Giving Back.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Such an
And
incredible tool.
And of course, it's fantastic for attracting and retaining high quality talent. But in fact, when we look at the employees that tell us that they're experiencing a high trust workplace, 92% of them say they're committed to their workplace for a long time.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, Kim. And I know conversely, some of the other organizations that are struggling to retain talent are not scoring high in those areas, and that's a
That,
growth opportunity, right?
that's right. And in fact, companies on our best workplaces list have half the voluntary turnover for their industries.
Wow, that's
So.
telling. That's telling. So,
Certification also really helps level the playing field for
mm,
small companies to
yeah,
help them compete successfully with bigger brands. Um, not everybody can work for an enormous company, and not everybody wants to. And certification really helps people understand which small and medium companies they'd be comfortable at.
well, let's talk about that a bit because this is, the era of startups, and some new startups are very small in numbers. Is there a certain number of employees needed to be considered for Great Place to Work certification?
Yes, for certification, there has to be a minimum of 5 employees at
Uh-huh.
the company, and that's just so that it can be statistically valid. And of course, everyone would have to answer the survey
True.
if it was as small as that. But to be eligible for our best workplaces lists, it's a little bit larger. There have to be at least 10 employees in the organization.
That's great, though. Very inclusive because a lot of small
Yes.
companies are on their way to becoming larger companies, but they're at the beginning, so things are different.
Exactly. And it's a really great going through our Trust Index survey is a great event, very helpful to an organization because we will also compare their scores to our best company benchmarks for their size, so they can really understand how they're doing and keep their culture on track as they grow.
Extraordinary. Kim, let's wrap up. I'd love for you to help the audience understand how their organization can become a Great Place Work certified company. So if I have some interested folks out there eager to learn more, what would you advise them to do next?
Certainly, you can visit greatplacetowork.com/certification specifically for more information and to choose from one of 3 different package options. We'll set you up to deploy the survey and submit the information about your culture, and you'll be on your way.
Brilliant. Sounds very simple and easy to do. So share with me how we can follow Great Workplace online. I know you have a myriad of social media platforms. Tell us a little bit more about where we can find you.
Well, you can certainly see us on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, really all of the social networks. We're available everywhere. And of course, at greatplacetowork.com, we have a blog. So we're always sharing information as we produce each one of our lists and develop highlights about certification. We have webinars as well. So there's certainly lots of information available to people who want to follow this and learn more.
Kim, what a joy to have you on the show. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and expertise and the extraordinary work that you're doing at Great Place to Work. I'm so delighted to get to know you today, and I hope our paths cross again soon.
So do I. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Your Working Life, where my goal is to help you design your career destiny so it doesn't happen by default. Career and life satisfaction is possible, and it's time to embrace what you love doing so you can do more of it. My show is now available on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, and Stitcher. I hope you'll consider subscribing so you can get fresh new podcasts every week. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Take good care.